In this lecture, we will cover schedule and automate tasks with cron. Cron is a Linux utility which can schedule a command or a script to run automatically at a specified time and date. Crontab is a program that can create, read, update, and delete your job schedules. A cron job is the scheduled task itself. Cron jobs can be very useful to automate repetitive tasks. For example, if you need to back up your system, let's say once a week, you can automate that task, and Crontab will help you do that. This is the format that Crontab uses. You need to, when you schedule a particular job, for example, your backup script to run, or you need to back up your system or delete some old log files, it's a repetitive task. You can schedule it through Crontab, and this is the format that you will use. If you see the 5 asterisks, they represent the minute, hour, day of the month of the year, and day of the week, and then you can type in the command that you want it to run, or you can have a script that needs to run at that time. But this is the Crontab format. Let's look at some example of a Crontab entry. For example, you can schedule a job to run every Tuesday at 7 a.m. So for example, 0 is for the minute, 7th is for the 7th hour, every day of the month, every month of the year, and second day of the week. So this job will run every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Let's look at this through the terminal so you can have an idea how to do this. So I'm currently logged in as a user called test. In order for me to create a Crontab entry or a cron job, I can type in the command crontab -e to edit, and then I can make a comment first. If you type in a pound or hash, that means this is not an executable command. So anything that you type in after that will be treated as a comment. Even if you type in a command that runs, it will not run. As long as there's a pound before you type in whatever you type in, it will be treated as a comment. Usually you use this to make sure you remember what it is or what kind of job it is. If you have many jobs, then you don't want to remember each job by just the name. You want to put a comment in there. So for example, run every Tuesday at 7 a.m. and then you can mention something else. It's a backup script. So that's just the comment, and then you can type in 0, 7, asterisk, asterisk, 2, and then if you're running a script, you can mention the path. If you're running a command, for example, if you're running ls-ltr, you can type that here. So in this case, we will give it a path of a particular script, for example, a backup script. So what this will do is this will run every Tuesday at 7 a.m. and this is our backup script. Let's save this. So we will save this and get out of it. Now to look at this, we can run crontab -l, hit enter. When you do that, it will tell you the Crontab entries or cron jobs scheduled for a particular user. Now let's say you schedule this job successfully. Now you want to delete it because maybe you ran it already or you don't need it any longer. Then you can delete it as well. So you will use the same command crontab -r to remove, and just hit enter. Let's run crontab -l again. As you can see, no crontab for test. Test is the user. So that's how you can schedule certain jobs, and that's how you can view them, and that's how you can delete those cron jobs if you no longer need those. So let's clear the screen. Let's move on. These are some of the examples of a Crontab entry. For example, if you wanted to run a job every 30 minutes, you would type it in this format, 0, 30. So this type of job will run every 30 minutes. And then you can give it the path of the command or the script that you're running. Another way to do this is you can type in asterisk /2. So basically what this is doing is dividing 60 by 2. So that's 30 minutes. It will run every 30 minutes as well. The third one is run for the first 10 minutes of the hour. So 0 to 9, that means every minute it will run for 10 minutes. And you can schedule different ways the jobs depending on your requirement. Let's look at some more examples. For example, if you wanted to schedule a job to run every hour, this is the type of format you will use. If you wanted to run a job every day at midnight, this is the format that you will use, or every week, or every month, or every year. So for example, if we break down every year, this job will run January 1st at 12 a.m. These are the common ways you can schedule certain tasks to run. Now, they may vary a little bit. The syntax and the format may vary a little bit depending on the distro that you're using. So you want to make sure you run the man page on Crontab to make sure if your system will use this format. There may be a little bit of variation. Now let's look at some of the cron jobs that we can create, how to create them, how to list them, and how to remove them. And let's try these again so you can have a better idea. And this document will be provided to you in a PDF format so you can go along with it and practice with it. So let's bring up the terminal and let's see if we can use these. For example, we'll run crontab -e. This will edit the Crontab file again. And here we can put in a comment. So once you see a pound, that means it's just a comment. It will not execute, it's just a comment. So you can mention this is a backup script. You can also mention it will run, for example, 11th July and whatever time, 7, or whatever time you decide. So that's what a comment is for. So you can leave a comment there. It's just an example. And then, for example, if you wanted to run something at 9:30, you can also do it this way. 11th July, so 07 and asterisk. And then you can mention your script or the command name here, the command that you're going to run, or the script that you're running. So once you're done with this, or once you're done typing in your command, you can save this file. So let's do that. So now that we have created the cron tab, the next example is how to list the contents of cron table for the user that you're currently logged in with. So crontab -l. So it will list what your cron job is. If you don't have any jobs, it will tell you that right here. So this is how you can tell how many jobs are running for you if you have scheduled a lot of jobs. This way, if you put a comment in there, you will know what it's doing. To remove a cron job for this particular user, you can just do crontab -r, hit enter, and let's run the crontab -l command again. No crontab for test user. This is how you can create the cron jobs. This is how you can list them and remove them and confirm if it's removed. These are some of the examples of how you can schedule and automate tasks with cron job, especially if you're running backups or if you need to remove files. Any repetitive tasks that you're usually working with, you can work with those by using the cron tab. I hope you learned something useful in this lecture as well, and I'll see you in the next one.